Hi, I'm Gord Wallace, project manager for this project for the school district, and just happy to be able to inform the students and the staff and the public completion of our job. Currently standing on the new turf field at Vic High, and behind me is west side of the building with the new stair tower on the north end. All the outside of the building has got the new windows, new cladding on the upward ledges, which waterproof the building better so we don't get seepage in behind the bricks. Behind me now here, visually you can see the old part, 1914 portion of the building. You can see the stairwell in behind, which is a big portion of the shear resistance of the building. And then all the new addition coming this way. And the tie-in to make the building a little bit more modern and more inclusive to everyone. So we're in the Andrews Gym, new sprung floor, new finishes all around, and new bleacher seats with the gold and black colors, and automated to go in and out. Okay, our last video about 10 months ago, behind this wall was the big concrete shear wall, which is about 16 inches wide by about 20 feet long, goes up 4 stories through the building. Yeah, and all the drag struts are tied into these shear walls. Yeah, the Roper Gym, it was totally upgraded. We had a lot of structural shear work in the Roper Gym. There's a big shear wall in behind the plywood portion here. Same on the other side of the gym, and then coming further down to 2 shear walls on each side of the gym there. The footings came way out past me. We had equipment coming in here. We had cut holes in the side walls to get equipment in, and excavators down here in the basement at one point. So this is what we're able to get it back to its original structure. The glazed bricks all around the Roper Gym had to come off on just about all the walls because of mechanical upgrades and all the shear walls that we were building. We salvaged and cleaned up as many bricks as we could and reinstalled probably about 70% of them with as nice lines as possible. And they're interesting because they really tell the era of 1914. When you look around Victoria, a lot of the buildings, if you learn to recognize these bricks, then it kind of tells you the story. We're on the level 0 floor just off the gym. This is the gender neutral change room. Last video it was in a stage of concrete block and rough-in plumbing and electrical, and this is the finished product. I'm sitting in the multi-purpose room now on the bleachers side, sitting on the wood that was brought from the bleachers in the Andrews Gym. This is the second floor. This is the heritage corridor where we tried to get as much of the heritage back into the building as possible. All of this was demolished for drag strut shear walls, or shear drag struts. And so all these were rebuilt with the egg and dart pattern and the painted now gold trim feature and the new light. Yeah, here in the Learning Commons is another example of taking part of the old structure, leaving it as is, and melding it in with the new. This is the textile room, and in this room, in the counseling rooms beside it, we salvaged a bunch of the old floor tiles, and in some areas where we didn't have enough floor tiles to patch everything, we patched with a nice concrete finish. Here's an example of a partition wall, so you can make 2 single classrooms into 1 big classroom if you want. And they're made with this white finish where the teachers can actually use them as a whiteboard. This is the new cosmetology room, and public will be able to sometime in the future come here for hairstyling or a haircut, and they'll have their own entranceway and own waiting room for the public. We're in the Spanish room, and it's been refurbished to be mimicking the heritage feel of the structure. And the flooring had to come out when we were doing the drag struts, and it's been all refurbished in this room and a couple other ones in the school. We're in the east stairwell right now. A major part of the seismic upgrade and a portion of tying the new and the old building together. There you see some of the steel structure against the windows, and then all the concrete work act as the big significant shear resistant walls. This is the outdoor classroom. This space is going to be used for ceremonial purposes sometimes, and it's also going to be used for astronomy. They're going to be able to come out here at night and do astronomy observation. Quite a lot of work, and happy to see it at completion.